Hi guys, Gaming Bear here. Right, we now have the T25 Pilot 1. Let's have a look around the vehicle. So it's a nice looking vehicle, quite nifty. We'll check out the characteristics in a minute. So armour is 76mm, 50 at the sides, on the hull, 38 in the rear. Turret 76, 63 on the sides and 63 on the rear. Let's check out the gun. So gun wise, 192mm average pen, not bad at all. 240 3 with APCR and 45 with HE. It seems to have only 50 rounds of ammo, so it's not the greatest. The power to weight ratio, let's have a look, is, bear with me a second, power to weight ratio, mobility wise, there we go, power to weight, we are looking 14.2, so it's a little bit sluggish. So I'm going to pause this, and I want to put in a crew from a better tank. So I'm going to send these guys to the barracks, and let's have a look. This crew, yeah, that'll do. Okay, so I'm going to send them to the barracks, and then I'm going to select them as the crew for them. So bear with me a moment. Pilot, and then we'll go for yes, decide to put them all back in again. So we'll go for the pattern crew at the moment. Let's get these boys in. Then the driver. Okay, we need the best driver we've got. Let's go for the E2. The radio operator, I mean. Silly bear. And then working our way down, the loader. So we're going to need some equipment. Let's see what we can do. Let's put, well, what's best? I'm going to need to exchange some gold, so bear with me, and I'll set this up as it should be. I did a review a couple of days ago, and I was absolutely shattered. I hadn't slept for a couple of days, and I said, "Oh, we'll go for Brothers in Arms." And I was thinking, first one I want Brothers in Arms, then work through the rest. And I only said that because I was so tired. And normally you'd want to go for other things, and then once you've started getting the skills, you then work back, reverse it, and swap what you've already got for Brothers in Arms. But you can do it, get Brothers in Arms as the first one, which I have as the first exchange at this stage. So bear with me. I'm going to go and sort out some credits, and I'll be straight back. So bear with me. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Hi guys. Right, I've got this kitted out now. Got the gun rammer on. Vert stabs, gun rammer, and vents. So to get it running quite well. It's got quite a nice gun, but the armour is a bit pants. Even though you can pull off some trollish bounces with the turret, it reminds me very much of a British tank. So let's have a look at some stats and see how it compares. So comparing what we've got, comparing this to the Centurion, the DPM is about 7 more. So we're looking 1925 DPM, pretty good. The gun damage is 10 more than the Centurion. Then we come to the penetration. It's down by about 26, so not so good. The reload is a little bit less, so you got a higher alpha, but a slower reload. Aim time is much better at 1.92 seconds. Very, very nice compared to 2.21. Dispersion is 0.35, which is not to be sneezed at, but it's not as good as the British 0.32. Then on the move, it's 0.12 for moving. Traversing, 0.12 compared to the 0.19. And turret traverse is 0.1 compared to 0.15. So dispersion on the move, it's much more accurate than even the British, which is renowned for being very accurate. After firing, it's 3.07 seconds bloom compared to 3.36. So it's much better accuracy-wise on the move. We then come to the caliber of the gun. Identical. Well, actually, it's a higher caliber gun. It's 90mm compared to the 83.4mm, which is on the Brit. So then we come to the shell velocity. In game, it's, well, 853 meters a second isn't to be sneezed at. But in comparison, it's 150 less, or 170 less than the Brit, which is 1.02 kilometers a second. Very, very fast for the Brit. Not exactly slow, but not up to the British level. The shell cost substantially less. But one issue is it's only got 50 rounds of ammo, compared to the 65 which the Brit has got. So it's low ammo-wise. You've got to watch out. You're capped at only 12,000 points of damage. I know. Oh, it sucks, doesn't it? Every game, you can only do 12,000 points of damage. What a pity, yeah? And then with AP, you've got a penetration, bear with me a second, penetration of 243. So that can make up for the situations when you really need it. So put this back to standard. The top speed is actually 5 better, which is nice. The reverse speed, 20, always good to have, but one issue is the power to weight ratio. You're about 220 horsepower per ton, or 220 horsepower less, so you're effectively about 1.5 horsepower per ton less than the Brit. So you've got to bear that in mind when you're playing. The traverse is substantially better, about 7 degrees better, which is pretty nice for the tank traverse. Then we come to the effective traverse. It's just a little bit better, about 0.56 degrees better. So there's not a lot in it, but it is better on hard terrain. On medium terrain, it's about 8 degrees less. On soft terrain, it's about 8 degrees less. So the better terrain you play it on, the more effective it is and the more mobile it is. So you've got to bear that in mind. But we then come to the terrain resistance. Terrain resistance, 0.48. This is one of the best ones I've ever seen on any vehicle. But I think you need to do it to make up for the power to weight ratio. 0.48 on hard compared to 0.96. 0.67 on medium compared to 1.05. And on soft terrain, it's 1.44 compared to 1.82. So actually, it's quite a nice. It's got nice terrain resistance if you can start picking up the speed, and that I'll go on and explain why I've put the consumables on to make up for the deficit in that power to weight ratio. We then come to the gun elevation. You've got 2 degrees more, so you've got 20 degrees compared to 18 degrees, which you've normally got. Gun depression is identical, very British-esque, at 10 degrees, and they match. Then we get the gun traverse. Well, it's 35 degrees, which is okay, but the Brit has got 40.25, so it loses out slightly. Then we come to the turret traverse. It's coming in at 46.93 compared to 37.56. So traversing the turret is actually about 9 degrees faster than the Brit. So it, in a way, well, it can make up and pirouette quite well in a clinch. Then we come to the armour of the tank. The hull armour is identical. So this is one of the reasons it makes me think it's very much like the Brit. Similar top speed, similar gun, similar armour on the hull. The turret, we're looking 76mm, 63 and 62.5 and 63.5. But you've got a nice turret which can potentially bounce shots. Very, very reminiscent of the Brit as well. You then come to the turret. The track armour, it's identical. Health is identical at 1450. The engine is weaker by about 85, 90, and it doesn't repair as quick, so it's a little bit fragile. Track health is identical, but it's 240, I mean, compared to 200, and it repairs faster with 180, so compared to 250. The ammo rack is 20 stronger, which is nice, and repairs faster. View range is 390, which isn't to be sneezed at, but it's 10 less than the Brit. Radio range is very nice, 776 compared to 780, so it's got a nice radio range. Let's go in and have a look at the 3D model. So, looking at the vehicle, you can angle it. You'll be looking over a ridge, trying to fire at things, poking over, trying to angle. Bear with me a second, try and get this right. You'll be trying to aim up over a ridge, coming over that way, aiming round as quickly as you can, firing, pulling a snapshot, and not waiting for return fire. But you've got a 50% chance of bouncing. So you're being fired at. From here, you can bounce your own shots. The angles here, you saw 400mm coming up then, 420. So there's this thin area here which you can still be penetrated in. The cupola, it's a thin shot, but even your own gun has got sort of a 50% chance of bouncing shot. Well, probably a 25% chance of bouncing. But if it's just a snapshot, you won't be penetrated. So you poke this, they may get a shot. As you can see, it's sort of a... They've got a chance of bouncing, so you can effectively snipe, shoot, bounce, pull back. If you get hit in the front plate, you will be penetrated, even if it's angled like this. Basically, the front plate is useless. If they hit the tracks, you're going to absorb the shot. You can see right the way along the vehicle, it's going to be absorbed. Above the tracks, this side, you're going to be penetrated. So this area, basically, if you're poking around, they'll see this area and the tracks. So if they shoot here, you'll get penetrated. If they shoot below, you won't. They may take your tracks off, but you won't get penetrated. But if they shoot the front plate, then you're taking damage. If they shoot the turret, then there's a high chance that just about, apart from this flat area here, anywhere either side of that, really, the very bouncy zones around it, you've got I would say at least a 50% chance of bouncing shots in this area. So snapshot, make them bounce and pull back. Use the accuracy of the gun to get you out of trouble. The rest of it is it's garbage. But you can use this, the tracks to side scrape, poke. But what you've got to watch out for is you've got a higher alpha and a slower rate of fire. And that slow rate of fire means that you've got to watch out, because a lot of tanks will get that second shot back on you that you won't be ready for. So bear with me. I'm just going to pause this and we will have a look and get into the first game. Okay, so I had to remove the camera. So here we are, ready to rock and roll. And you saw with the power to weight ratio, it's an issue. So I've gone for Kohler to give you the ability to get around. So look in the vehicle, it's looking pretty good. We've gone for these vert stabs plus the vents and a gun rammer, because you need to speed up that reload time. That's another reason for going for the Kohler. So you need to try and balance the situation. Now, what I compared it to was the Centurion. And you can see it's a bigger target, but the angling and sloping, it's very similar. The body's very similar. It's got a strong mantlet and a nice turret. So in a way it's similar, but as you can see, this has got 152 mil of armour on the front. It hasn't got the top speed, it's got a very similar gun, and that's why I've thought about comparing these two, and that's why I think that the T25 Pilot plays very much like the Centurion. So without further ado, as you can see, no data yet. Let's get into a first game, see what this is like, and, well, let's just do it. You know that I could easily go and, with most tanks, just go and get a replay, go on, see who's uploaded what, and go straight for an easy and go, oh look, someone's done 16 kills in this. Oh yeah, isn't it wonderful? I know they wouldn't do 16. I suppose they could kill someone on their own team. But we will have a look. Someone complaining, why don't you put a bit better replays? And I said, I do, but I play the first game, and if it comes out to be trash, this is how I play that tank the first time. You guys know that. But yeah, some people are like, oh, we only come to see people who do perfect games all the time. Well, go to other people who do that. That's not my style. I play it as it is, and you guys know that. So this isn't the best start. The game itself is okay, but let's have a look. The matchup, it's all right. So we've got a Lerva Tier 8 game. You bear in mind this is a Tier 8 tank. So we've got a nice view range. We'll see how it motors around the land, around Ensk with this mobility, and we'll try and get into an interesting spot, ready to look up and potentially snipe at any tanks that are around about B1. That's what I'm going to start off, looking at that situation. See how good the sniping is on this. So turning the turret's a little bit, the hull's a little bit slow. The turret is okay. And let's try and get it into position, see what we can spot. We've got the T71 there sketching it, the SCRV in position already. The accuracy is pretty good, but as you can see, the rate of fire is a little bit slow. The accuracy was very, very good, so I'm going to try the mobility. Normally I'd have stayed there and tried to get some extra shots, but I'm testing the mobility and how fast I can get up to 55 for you guys, so I wouldn't normally be doing this. So it's a little bit slow to get up to speed. Let's try and fire over here. Fire through the gap. See what I can do. Okay, yep, APCR from that Panther 88, so he's over there, hadn't spotted him, but he must be down near the 3402, 34.3, I mean. We almost shot the 34.3. He's fired, let's get out of dodge. Mobility, the pickup is, it is a bit iffy. So see what we can do. We've got the Panther 88 that we know is over there. This got a bit of revenge then. He's coming around the other side. Let's go in. The E5 is a very, very nice tank. Let's push in a little bit more. These guys need assistance. Slow reload. We took his tracks off. Time to move. Time not to be here. Yeah, really time not to be here. The reversing that 10 kph is enough. So when you want to get out of here, you can do it. That was really, really lucky then. Snapshots are very good. It's very accurate. Bounce the shot. We don't want to be here. Let's go hunting, see what we can do. We're out of view range of that. We've got two options. He's gone. Next. IKV coming around that way. Let's see what we can do. Tiger 2 behind. Oh. We're slow. What the heck is happening? I'm having problems with. Took his tracks off, but it wasn't good enough. Penetration isn't good enough. We'll try the mobility, see what we can do, but it wasn't quite good enough. So 1400 WN8, 1400 points of damage. Penetration was a little bit lacking. The mobility, you need something to boost you up. The gun handling is pretty good. Even though the camera went a bit wild, you can react to things. When you do move, and if you can watch what you're doing, you can move around well enough. Let's see how it did in comparison to other players. So 1300 points in the top end of things, not bad at all. 1 kill, 400 experience. So second on the team, 1 kill. Let's have a look at. So 11 shots, 10 hit, 6 pens. So this seems pretty average. The gun is with standard is a little bit underwhelming. So the penetration is a little bit down, but I still came away with 13 almost 1400 points of damage. 18,000 credits, which is fair. You need the consumables to allow you to work with this tank. This is, and you got to think that this is in a city environment. This isn't its home environment. Its normal environment would be on working a ridge. It's really good, like a Brit, working a ridge. So just to come away with 620 experience plus bonus, so almost 700 experience on a lost game, 18,000 credits on a lost game again. You're looking, I don't know, 30, 40,000 credits on a normal win games, even with using these amounts of, using the food that we put in. So, is it a good tank? It's not a good tank. It's an okay tank. It's like it feels very much, I imagined it would feel like a British tank, and it does. You need to react in the similar way to the British tanks. You've got a gun which is similar to the British tanks, but the penetration isn't quite there. You need to be thinking about those situations like against the Tiger II, the 34th that we had to fight, and the Lurva, bouncing the shots, hitting them in the tracks and not penetrating. That's the time that this tank will need to use those premium rounds. But you need to plan it, because the reload is that little bit slower than you need. You can feel it. You're waiting for it to reload. So in a real situation, I could have gone for a fantastic game. This was an average sort of game. It's an okay tank, but you've got to be ahead of the game. You've got to be thinking of what you're doing. You've got to be preparing for the use of the ammo. You need to be ready to rock and roll with this. But to come second, it's a nice enough tank, and especially for free. So, do you want to spend $5, £5, whatever it is, €5 for the number of tokens, or the equivalent of about $20, $25 or £25 or €25 for this tank? Is it that sort of level? I would say that it's not at that level, but they're not wanting. If you want this tank to go in your collection, like me, I would have paid for it anyway. But for you, there's enough time to do it. And then if you haven't got if you want the tank and this suits your style and you've got an American crew to put in, you can use it to grind your credits. If this would be your first premium tank, then you can get a free premium tank, which is, hey, nothing wrong with. Just all you need is basically something like 10 kills per day, and that's it. This tank is yours. What's not to like? If you miss any tokens for 5 days tokens, so basically every day you miss is going to cost you £1, probably $1, or else a euro per day you miss. Whoop-de-doo. Then you've got this fun little tank. Is it fun? Yeah, it makes you think. It's not an easy tank. It's not an overpowered tank. And I've been hit with so many things. Oh, you're wargaming shill. You're only doing this to sell things for wargaming. Well, I do it because I love showing you guys the tanks. But also, I show bad tanks. I show good tanks. They're good and bad. This isn't bad. It's mediocre. It's not great. But it's fun. It gets you right in the heart of it. You're playing it, and rather than being easy and you know what you're doing, you've really got to think. You've got to be on the edge of your seat, and you've got to be really in the moment. And it sort of takes you back. So if you're used to the British tanks, that's in essence what you have with this. It's not a great tank, but it's a fun tank with almost a little smiley face, as you can see from here. And it's fun. So it makes you think, and anything in wargaming that makes me think, I like. And I hope you do too. So, is it worth it? God, yes. So, quadruple pause as a free tank that just by playing and getting 10 kills a day, you get the tank. Yeah, what's not to like? So, yeah, it's a no-brainer. And if you miss it for £1, $1, or €1, whatever you're paying for it, for each day you miss, yes, you've got to buy 5 tokens. But is it worth it? Yeah, definitely. If you've done most of the, you need 13 days. So get 10 or get 8, and then buy the rest. If you want to have a weekend off, just enjoy it, play it mostly. And if you're missing a couple of days and you haven't quite done it, boom, lay out a couple of quid. That's it, a couple of dollars, whatever. If you don't want it, then don't get it. You don't have to. You're not forced to. It's a free tank. If you haven't quite got it and you don't want it in your garage, well, no skin off my nose. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope this helps. And that was a real game. And that's really how the tank plays. I feel you do need something to boost it, like the Cola, which will help speed up improve the power to weight ratio, give you a slightly improved view range, and enhance your crew skills as well, which will allow you to reload faster, aim slightly faster, pull back slightly faster, move up faster. Everything otherwise this turns into very much like the Super Pershing, which is highly armoured, but you need to have a good crew in it, and before I had a good crew, I used to run Kohler as well. But this pilot hasn't got the armour to allow you to mix it up like the Super Pershing. So this is like a Super Pershing light, but it's made up for with a slightly better gun and a better top speed. Let me just double check that with the top speed. I just want to make sure I've got that right. Top speed, yeah, 40.2. So an additional 14.8 kmh. So yeah, you can actually get around a lot better with the Pilot. But so think about this as a combination of the Centurion and the Super Pershing, and you won't go far wrong. It's somewhere in between, but ignore the armour. Just think about this. It is a combination of a Super Pershing and a Centurion with no armour. But you can potentially pull off some lucky bounties around the turret as you're poking around things. And it's fantastic at working ridges. And that's it. This, like I was saying, this game wasn't even a ridge working game. I would expect something like 2,000 points, 2,500, 3,000 points in a ridge game where you can poke up, fire, pull back before they can react to you. And then, because you've got a slow reload, you move position, go somewhere else, snipe from there before they get the return shot. And I think this would... it looks like it's grinning. There, from here, it looks like it's got a little smiley face with a grin. I could see this trolling your opponent. You go somewhere, poke, shoot. They would just be like, oh, I want to shoot that little whatever. So I think you could have an awful lot of fun with this, especially for free. So enjoy, guys. Have fun with it. I am. That was my first game. So now I have one game. And, okay, I lost the first game. But hey, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. And put in the comments what you think. And see you on the next one. Thank you, guys. Bye. Hi guys, right, like today the mission you need to do is 15,000 points of damage. So clicking in, looking in, what have we got? There we go, 15,000 points of damage. So each day is different. So yeah, very, very interesting. So each day you never quite know what you're going to get, never know what you need to do, but keep ticking through, keep looking, and yeah, it's quite exciting. So yeah, let's carry on.